up, Tzu Chi volunteers in Santiago, Chile bring relief aid to those affected by the strong quake in September. Tzu Chi Foundation is building a new campus to give Kangle Elementary students a safer learning environment. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Nell. Thank you for joining us. In Guatemala, a fire broke out in the homes of a family of 8 in Palencia about 2 weeks ago. Upon learning the news, local Tzu Chi volunteers drove for 1.5 hours to deliver consolation cash and daily necessities to the family. While in Northern California, the United States, a forest fire destroyed 2,050 buildings in Midautumn in mid-September, forcing 9,000 residents to evacuate to deliver much-needed aid. Local Tzu Chi volunteers held a 2-day distribution, giving out cash cards to the victims.
In mid-September, a devastating forest fire scorched the hills around Midautumn, Northern California, turning a community into a wasteland and forcing 9,000 residents to evacuate.
Before I reached Midautumn, I saw a block of smoke that was coming from the mountain and fire, a little bit of fire, and all of a sudden I saw fires going from one place to another, like dropping here and then there. You know, if the whole town was on fire or the whole world was on fire.
The forest fires scorched 76,000 acres of land and destroyed 2,050 buildings. Local Tzu Chi volunteers surveyed the damage for 7 days before conducting a 2-day aid distribution. Among the aid recipients was Irma, who came with her 10-month-old daughter to receive a cash card. To reciprocate, she brought a surprise for the volunteers.
All the change that I get from everything, going to the store, change, and I decided to put in. I never thought you guys can do this. It's really nice to help us.
In spite of the devastation, residents of Midautumn stay optimistic.
We lost some houses here in Midautumn that were 150 years old. That will never, ever be back to normal. But to get the community back as one so we can be as one and be back to normal as much as possible.
As residents of Midautumn support each other on their path to recovery, Tzu Chi volunteers will also be there to help them rebuild their homes and lives. Turning to Guatemala, after a fire broke out in this house 15 days ago, the place now looks empty.
I fell when I was escaping from the fire, so there are several scars on my arm.
Tzu Chi volunteers drove for 1.5 hours from the capital to Palencia to deliver consolation cash and daily necessities. Putting a blanket into the hands of the 88-year-old grandmother, Tzu Chi volunteers have brought this family warmth and strength to get through the tough days ahead.
In carrying out disaster relief work, Tzu Chi volunteers have been using a mobile kitchen and water purifier to provide disaster victims with hot meals and drinking water. To increase the efficiency of the device, Tzu Chi Northern Emergency Rescue Team held a training class in Hsinchu to teach volunteers ways to better operate the machines.
If you don't know how to operate it, you cannot work with others. 4 people must work together to operate this. We have to practice operating this often and be very mindful.
The volunteers were referring to this white frame into which a mobile water purifier and mobile kitchen can be installed for emergency use.
After we built this mobile water purifier, we used it in Wulai, and it was quite effective. Since this is new, not many people know how to operate this. So our emergency rescue team is holding this training class in Hsinchu.
Among the class attendees is the only female volunteer, Chen Biru.
In carrying out emergency rescue work, we have to consider a lot of factors, including having a sense of mission and being prepared.
The mobile water purifier removes large particles from water with reverse osmosis before disinfecting it with ultraviolet light, while the stove in mobile kitchen can use gas as well as firewood. As more volunteers learn to operate these devices, they will be able to carry out disaster relief work more efficiently in times of need.
In mid-September, Chile suffered from an 8.3 magnitude earthquake that left at least 13 dead and led to the temporary evacuation of 1 million people. As some residents are still displaced, Tzu Chi volunteers from the Santiago area headed to the hard-hit zones to bring relief items for the survivors. Though it was a small gesture on the volunteers' part, the love and care behind the distribution was deeply felt by those on the receiving end.
The earthquake damaged my house. I was very sad, but thank you for coming to see us. Although I don't know your name and you are a stranger to me, I still like you very much.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Santiago, the capital of Chile, headed north to Oveja, a hard-hit quake zone, to distribute tents and emergency lights to the disaster survivors.
They are Tzu Chi volunteers from Taiwan who have brought us tents so that we can all have a good night's rest.
The 8 volunteers then continue on to the next town that needs assistance.
Thank you for bringing us these aid supplies. We also appreciate your friendship.
Tzu Chi volunteers have come so far to let us know that we are not alone. Although the circumstances are difficult right now, the volunteers' care and sign language performance has warmed our hearts. According to Chinese tradition, Midautumn Festival is a time of family reunion. To make sure their care recipients and dialysis patients have the chance to enjoy the festival, prior to the holiday, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia had held various Midautumn Festival celebrations across the country. But first, we traveled to near Taipei City, Taiwan, where Tzu Chi volunteers in Banqiao brought the spirit of the holiday to senior residents at the Jiahe nursing home. Expressing the love of an elderly couple through his performance is Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Hengyi, who is here to entertain these senior residents.
Normally, I just put on a performance just for the fun of it. Today, I want to spread happiness to others.
Today, Tzu Chi volunteers in Banqiao are here to deliver the joy of the Midautumn Festival to seniors at the Jiahe nursing home. The volunteers are also joined by teachers and students of Chile Elementary School.
I'm very happy. Helping others is the key to happiness. Today, I have witnessed firsthand how the Tzu Chi volunteers have delivered positive energy and the joy of the holiday to these senior residents. I think it is great that children can learn from the volunteers.
Meanwhile, at the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang, dialysis patients put on a skit to remind others of the importance of taking better care of their health.
Besides helping our dialysis patients receive the treatment they need, we also want to encourage them to interact with us. I think the happiness I received from this job is something I can't find elsewhere. Over here, we care about both our patients' bodies and minds.
For many ethnic Chinese, the festival is celebrated by eating mooncakes, carrying lit lanterns, and guessing riddles. Under the guidance of the volunteers, dialysis patients from different ethnic groups have a chance to experience the joys of the festival.
I have a lot of friends here. Regardless of our differences in ethnicity, we are still one big family. I am very happy.
As Midautumn Festival is also a time of family reunion, Tzu Chi volunteers in Kuala Lumpur thoughtfully organized a celebration on behalf of care recipients.
Many of our care recipients don't know the meaning behind the Mid-Autumn Festival, so we want to give them a chance to experience and enjoy the holiday.
Regardless of differences in race or faith, care recipients join hands to dance away their stress.
I haven't had a mooncake for years because my mother passed away when I was 17 years old. I used to hide myself at home during the holiday because I wanted to forget about my sorrow. Today's event was filled with warmth and I will never forget it.
At the Midautumn Festival celebration held by the government in Songat Petani, local Tzu Chi volunteers set up a booth to advocate the concept of filial piety to members of the public.
We have been holding tea ceremonies at our Tzu Chi Academy and hope that this etiquette can be practiced by every family in Songat Petani.
Though Kangle Elementary School on the edge of Taidong County lacks adequate funding, thanks to the hard work of its faculty, the school is listed among Taiwan's top 100 most distinguished schools. However, as the school is nearly 70 years old, the Tzu Chi Foundation has decided to step in and help tear down its old buildings and build new ones so the student body can study in a safe environment.
Taidong's Kangle Elementary School is a large outdoor rollerblade rink, and all of the some 140 students of the school are expert rollerbladers.
Seeing the kids practicing hard under the sun, I think it is wonderful to be here with them. Through the sport, they also learn to work together as a team.
Typically, parents don't have much time for their children in remote townships, and our students don't have anything to do on weekends, so the coach is here all year round.
The school takes in students from various backgrounds, and thus the principal wanted to find a sport that could help any of the students unleash their potential.
Every child is unique. They are all gifted in different areas. So how do we help them unleash their potential? First, we have to look hard at what we can offer.
Though limited in resources, the school relied on technology to help transform itself into one of the top 100 most distinguished schools in the country. Taking on school chores also helps the students build character.
To use the school's restrooms, you first have to take off your shoes because they are like those of a 5-star hotel.
The school's restrooms are meticulous and not just anyone can clean them. Only outstanding 5th and 6th graders can clean the school's restrooms.
We hope that by taking on chores such as this, our students will learn the value of serving others.
By cleaning the restrooms properly, everyone will get to enjoy their experience here.
The school was founded in 1947, and so most of its buildings are nearly 70 years old. Though they have been repainted to cover up their blemish, the Tzu Chi Foundation decided to help the school rebuild for the sake of the students' safety. Before construction began this past summer, students wrote down their thanks for the old school buildings, while the school recorded the whole demolition process to document the historic moment.
When the construction is complete, the younger students will have a better learning environment.
You won't feel as dangerous here. Now we will feel safe. To be honest, we had no idea that these buildings were unsafe before proper inspection. As earthquakes are common here in Taidong, and our children will attend here as well. If we know the buildings are safe, we the parents can be more at ease.
Due to the renovation, one classroom now has to serve 2 classes. However, the inconvenience is only temporary. Tzu Chi's construction team also thoughtfully reoriented the direction of the new buildings so that they will take on less sunlight from the west. Surely, these new classrooms will usher in a new era for this remotely located school.
In the Philippines, Tzu Chi's latest rice distributions in Leyte province occurred in the townships of Palo and Tanawan. To these residents who were hit hard by Typhoon Haiyan 2 years ago, Tzu Chi's presence has never left their side. Here's more.
Sama-sama tayong lahat sa isang dasalan.
In the Philippines, residents of Leyte province are here to receive blessings from Taiwan in the form of rice.
Thank you, Tzu Chi, for the rice you have given me. This aid has come just in time, as my entire family, including my grandson, now has plenty to eat.
The recent rice distribution events brought Tzu Chi volunteers to Palo and Tanawan.
I remember during the Typhoon Haiyan disaster, Tzu Chi helped a lot of people. We will never forget the volunteers' kind deeds.
Alalahanin namin yung mga foundation nga nakatanggap kami.
Though the typhoon is long gone, residents affected by Typhoon Haiyan have come to realize that Tzu Chi volunteers have remained by their side through it all.
Today we meet Chen Wei-Qi, a music teacher at National Taichung Special Education School. For 20 years, Chen Wei-Qi has guided her students with patience and understanding while helping them explore their potential and develop their talents.
Children with special needs often have trouble focusing, hence to get them to pay attention takes a lot of work. However, music teacher at National Taichung Special Education School, Chen Wei-Qi, has her own way of getting through to these students.
They lack self-confidence. If I give them 100%, they put forth only 30% of the efforts. So I really have to exaggerate my movements.
It was in Chen Wei-Qi's music class that Xiao Hao, who suffers from mild intellectual disability, discovered his love of music.
I got my street performer's permit. I'm really happy and very thankful for Miss Chen's guidance.
Music has a magical effect over them. Some of these children are very withdrawn. Sometimes you barely even notice them, but as soon as they hear music, they immediately become a different person. Music brings them happiness and boosts their confidence.
A student's progress is a teacher's greatest reward. Throughout her 20-year teaching career, Chen Wei-Qi came a long way to get to where she is today.
They have difficulty in learning. Whenever I teach them something, they're slow to learn and quick to forget. So I make sure to practice over and over with them. I just treat each lesson as a first.
Chen's passion for teaching extends beyond the classroom. On the weekend, she teaches children who are blind how to play the piano. 15-year-old Chen Luoqi is blind and suffers from autism. She had been taking piano lessons from Chen Wei-Qi for almost 5 years now.
I like playing alongside teacher Wei-Qi.
She discovered her love for music here. She has always shown a great interest and passion in music. She just didn't know how to express it.
To understand her students and to better support their learning and development, in the beginning, Chen Wei-Qi practiced playing the piano with her eyes blindfolded. Of all the students Chen Wei-Qi has taught throughout her teaching career, 13 are winners of the Taiwan Presidential Culture Award. She herself has also been a recipient of countless awards, including the 10 Outstanding Young Woman Award.
Music is a very important part of their lives. They put their total trust and faith in me. I am deeply moved by it and am very happy.
After months of trial period, on September 23rd, the Tzu Chi Foundation, along with the Seniors Association of Guangfu Township, officially launched the Seniors Dine Together program at the Senior Activity Center in Guangfu Township. From now on, seniors will be invited to come together to enjoy vegetarian meals, as well as participate in a variety of activities.
The seniors joined simple exercises at the official launch of the Seniors Dine Together program, which marked the official start of a program that will serve the elderly in this community.
The Seniors Dine Together program will promote further interaction as the villagers from Guangfu Township join our big family.
Seniors will be able to join exercise classes, health talks, and spiritual growth-related seminars at the Senior Activity Center, thus adding vitality to all aspects of their lives.
They are very happy because being alone at home, they simply watch TV. So they feel good about this, and many have made friends here.
Local volunteers have been inviting seniors to come together to enjoy vegetarian meals for a month. Many seniors not only found the meals delicious, but also good for their health.
If we can promote vegetarianism, less seniors will suffer from high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and high blood sugar. Then the burden on our national health insurance can be reduced.
After the launch ceremony, Tzu Chi volunteers visited a senior couple who had cut themselves off from the world since losing 2 children to accident and illness. With the volunteers' companionship and care, smiles returned to the faces of the seniors as they realized that love and care can heal most wounds.
In August and September, 2 powerful typhoons, Soudelor and Dujun, battered Taiwan with strong winds and torrential rain, which uprooted hundreds of thousands of trees across the country. To encourage residents to upcycle these downed trees and turn them into useful items, the city's Environmental Protection Bureau is making them available to the public.
Under the skillful hands of Yunling Jianguo Junior High students, unwanted branches have been turned into useful wooden crafts and chopsticks.
We can avoid wastage by giving unwanted items an extended lease of life.
While students of National Zhanghua Senior High School collected fallen leaves around campus and turned them into compost.
If we don't make use of these leaves, they get sent straight to the incinerator anyways.
Following Typhoon Soudelor in August and the most recent Typhoon Dujun, some 17,000 tons of downed trees and branches were collected by the city government.
We can reduce carbon dioxide emissions by about 30,000 tons if we don't incinerate these logs. Of course, we also want to encourage residents to upcycle these materials.
For the first time, the city's EPB is making these logs and branches available to the public for free.
For individuals, we will set some logs aside with our equipment so they may collect them safely.
On the other hand, companies and organizations will have to prepare their own equipment and vehicle to transport these logs. Upcycling down trees not only reduces waste, but also ensures these precious resources are given an extended lease of life.
We go to British Columbia, Canada at the end of the show, where Tzu Chi volunteers in Greater Vancouver, along with TCM doctors, held a free clinic on behalf of the Sumas First Nation living in Abbotsford. Besides providing local residents with much-needed medical services, TCM doctors also seized this chance to encourage more tribal members to study traditional Chinese medicine. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.